So it has been a while since I made a Warframe video, and I thought, what better way to come back than to make a video on probably the best primary gun in the game? Here I have Volt, very basic build. You know, I've got enough strength so I can get Eclipse over 100%. See, although it says 96%, you know, with growing power, we're going to get that over 100%, and that's just going to help with the Torrid's damage. So everything else, pretty standard, nothing crazy, and that's why this is the non-Riven simple build, so that way most of you guys can replicate what I'm trying to do here. So that is the Warframe, and then you could see the crystals, nothing crazy. You know, I just have a strength one and an ability one, just so I can keep my buffs up and then get that strength to help Eclipse, right? So now for the Torrid. Let's talk about the evolutions before we get into the actual like setup with the mods. Final Fusillade. Increase base damage by plus 51, plus 3 multi-shot on last shot in magazine. For Evolution 3, we have Swift Deliverance, plus 50% projectile speed. This one I've never messed with. I didn't even bother using it. Increase base magazine capacity by plus 9. That doesn't affect Incarnate mode, so this literally is useless. Alright, now Evolution 4, Commodore's Fortune. Increases base critical chance by 20%. You want this one instead of Survivor's Edge. Increase base critical chance by 15%, increase base status chance by 50%. We don't really need the 15% status chance because we already get the viral stacks pretty quickly with this build because it is a viral build. And with 20%, we're going to be over 100% critical chance. It's usually between these two. And with this build, you want to go with the 20% critical chance. This Torrid no Riven setup is going to focus on viral to get high damage, slash so we can cut through that armor, and you're gonna need to forma the gun 7 times so that way you could fit all the mods that we need to make it work. So let's talk about all the mods I have here. So Amalgam Serration, 155% damage, 25% sprint speed. I like to go fast, and I'm also playing as Volt, so this one's a no-brainer for me. But if you don't have the one, you could just use Serration. See, and you'll do a bit more damage, but I like the sprint speed bonus, so that's why I'm using this one. And the wiki says you get this from Thermia Fractures event. It's been so long, I don't even remember where I got this mod, but that's where it says you get it, so the Thermia Fractures. So Galvanized Chamber. This one is very nice, and it seems like you want to use this on almost any primary gun. Just look at what it says for multi-shot, the number of damage instances fired per shot. You'll also see we fire multiple rounds instead of just one. So the more multi-shot you have, seems like the easier it is to get to Incarnate form. Like, I could be wrong on that, but it just seems like I get in it very fast when all of my rounds just hit when I click it one time. So if you have Vital Sense and you have a Riven that does critical damage, like you'll see in Incarnate form, the critical multiplier goes up, so you will get this number very high. See, if you go on my, see, 11.1 is what I have it for my Riven setup. So Vital Sense, I feel like you need this one just to kind of push the damage number up. Hunter Munitions, 30% chance to apply slash on critical. Slash temporarily ignores the target's armor and causes them to bleed over time for extra damage. That is why you want Hunter Munitions on this build, so it does viral and slash. If we go to an enemy, see, it applied the slash. So now if I were to buff up my damage here, look at that, they're just dying very quickly. That damage boost makes a huge difference. Look at that, it just kills them. Oh my god, that is so good, dude. Oh, he just got decked in the chest. Primary Deadhead. On precision headshot kill, 120% damage for 24 seconds, stacks up to 3 times. 30% to headshot multiplier. It just goes into the millions of damage. So you definitely need this arcane as well. But you could use Primary Merciless if you don't have it. And just a quick heads up. So all you people that are curious about what faction mods I'm using, I'm not using any of them. So now let's talk about Malignant Force, 60% Toxin, 60% status chance. The status chance is actually kind of high for this build. You don't need it that high. So if you wanted, you could put Naramon and put in infected clip. So if you had that there, you'd just be doing more damage. So now if we go over here, primed cryo rounds. It's so nice that this one happened to be cold, so that way we could use this for the viral. So, you know, it's a primed mod, so we're getting that extra damage. And if you don't have this one, you could just use regular cryo rounds, but you know, the damage will drop. Borrow did have it for the Tennokan, so if you missed that, you could always just buy it from somebody with plat, but this one, you need it for the build. Now let's talk about Galvanized Aptitude. 80% status chance on kill, 40% direct damage per status type affecting the target for 20 seconds, stacks up to 2 times. So this one might not seem that great because we're doing slash and viral, right? If we go to my Sentinel, I have Helios Prime and I gave it Verglas. It's a weapon that does Icy Beam. It's one of the better companion weapons in my opinion. And look what I gave it, corrosive, cold, and radiation. So this guy kind of doing a lot of priming. Galvanized Aptitude is going to get helped because this guy is also going to be giving him status effects as well. Okay, Corpus. We might get some big hits with the Corpus because as soon as we go through that shield, it's just their health. 1.9 mil. Dude, can you stop killing them, bro? 1.2 mil. So you're definitely going to be hitting over 1 million with this build. And I mean, do you really need to be hitting 20 million? Not really. 4.5 mil. See? Yeah, so this setup is working. Killing Eximus enemies grants 120% bonus of a random elemental damage to your companion for 30 seconds. So then he will get even more status elements to put on enemies. Galvanized Aptitude is actually going to be very good with the build. So that is how I have my Sentinel set up. So yeah, see 40% and then it stacks up to 2 times. So it'll be 80% direct damage per status. So viral, slash, cold, corrosive, radiation, and then whatever else bonus elements he get. That's going to be a lot of damage. Critical delay. It sucks that it lowers our fire rate, but we get that 200 critical chance, and that is sending us over 100, and that is where we want to be. I see a lot of build videos that use Vile Acceleration. If you wanted, you could put Vile Acceleration instead of Galvanized Aptitude. That's your choice. But I don't really like using Vile Acceleration because when I'm in missions and they're like players that kill enemies very fast, I find it hard to sometimes tag enemies so I can get an Incarnate form, right? So I want to be in Incarnate form longer. But if you have Vile Acceleration, you get an Incarnate form and then you just get out of it very quickly. And if you have people buffing your speed like Wisp, you're just going to be shooting and then you're going to get out of it. And then say you're playing with like very good players, they're just going to be killing everything and you're going to have trouble like getting back into it. So for my simple setup build, this is probably your flex spot here. So if you want faster fire rate, you can put that right there. One more thing I need to add is Vigilante supplies. You don't need it max rank. You really need it for the 15% chance to enhance critical hits from primary weapons. And you're probably wondering, why is it at 15% when I only have one? A mod from my Sentinel gun, say like Vigilante Armaments, I'm going to remove it, right? We go back to my gun. Okay, dude, if I could just navigate. We go back to my gun, you will see it's at 10% now, see? So that is why I have Vigilante Armaments and Vigilante Fervor on my Sentinel, because we have that 15% chance to enhance critical hits from primary weapons, and that's why you see me do a lot of orange and like red with this build. Alright. So we're going in Incarnate form, and so here's the thing about this gun. Punch through does not affect how many enemies will get chained. It says it chains 5 enemies on the wiki. So it really depends on what you shoot. That's going to do like the chain. You see like right here? They are a little bit tankier. But the fact that this gun can do this is wild, and it doesn't have a... Oh, I just saw a 2 point something million right there. See, so do you really need a Riven for this? Probably not. You'd save yourself a lot of plat, but when I say it'll take it to the next level, it really does. Alright, where the hell is he? Oh, he's up here. What's up, dude? Oh, I might need to get into Incarnate form again. Oh, no, see? We got that low fire rate. See, we didn't have to go back and get back into it, see? That is why I like the low fire rate. You could shoot very fast, but have low damage. Shoot very slow, but have high damage, you know? Like vice versa. So it depends on like what you're doing with your build, essentially. Man, does he have like negation of like how it almost seems like the damage is capped on what you could do to him. Okay, here we go again. What's up, dude? Gonna get your back. He's going crazy right now. So you saw my simple build. Now let's talk about my Riven setup. So I have Volt Prime. Here's how everything looks. So I put Precision Intensify so we can get Eclipse higher. See, right now it's at 107%. And with growing power, it's going to go even higher. And then we have the shield to do electric damage. I am also using Talfor's Violet Archons to get that gain 45% primary electricity. You don't need it, but I just want to do more damage. So I added 2 of them, and it has been working very nice, especially when I'm fighting Murmur because they're weak against it. This setup I could pretty much bring anywhere and just like have no issues, except for Deimos. Those guys are very tanky. So let's talk about the mods. Most of these are going to be the same. Amalgam Serration, Galvanized Chamber, Vital Sense, Hunter Munitions, you know, so we could get the viral and the slash procs. Primary Deadhead, because this one is just better than Primary Merciless. Plus we get that 30% to headshot multiplier. And I have hit some insane numbers. I think I've hit over 20 million. But yeah, you need Primary Deadhead. So Point Strike. The reason why I'm using this one instead of Critical Delay is because I don't really need the extra critical chance, and I get more fire rate with this setup. Because if you look, I'm at 208 because of my Riven. See, here is my Riven. This is the bread and butter of this whole build, and the reason why I can push it like to like crazy damage. I know not everybody is gonna have this kind of Riven, but make sure you at least have multi-shot and critical chance or critical damage. Like those would be the ones I'd recommend to at least go for. And then, you know, we have Vigilante Supplies, so we could do the 15% chance to enhance critical hits from primary weapons. There's not much else to say. See, status is at 62%. See, viral's at 48, but viral stacks fast, especially with this build. And then the multi-shot, the amount of instances we're firing, you know, with one shot. So we're proccing viral very fast. Now let's get a strong enemy like Kuva. Wait, what? There we go. Kuva Heavy Gunner Eximus. We're gonna get this guy. Look at that. 2 shots and I was in it already. I'm sorry, Eximus who? Get out of here, bro. Look at that. Look how easily I destroyed these guys. Like, they don't stand a chance. 3.7 mil? Look at that. They died instantly. That is insane, dude. I literally can't make this gun any better. So I guess to wrap up this video, I could talk about the Torrid no Riven versus Riven. It really comes down to if you want to spend that amount of plat, if you want to get some of those good Torrid Riven rolls. I suggest you buy a cheap one and roll it yourself. There is a little bit of gamble with that. I'm not willing to spend 2.5 up to 5k for some of these crazy Torrid rolls. Some people are even going high as like 8k, and that is just insane. If we compare these two clips, this was the most that I saw on a no Riven, and then this was the highest damage I saw with my Riven. Do you need a Riven on the Torrid? No, but you will see a crazy increase in damage. And that is basically it. I tried to give you two different types of builds. I know not everyone's gonna have a Riven, but if you really want to make the Torrid endgame, you really need a Riven to push it to that crazy damage level where like things are just instantly dying. I don't claim to be an expert in Warframe, so if you see something that I can improve on any of my builds, just let me know down in the comments. Like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.